So what do you think corporates need in order to innovate better? What's lacking?
Well, I mean, I think you just touched on it there, right? I mean, corporates, the key problem is really spending time with their customers. If you want to innovate, get out there and spend some time with your customers, the people who buy your product and use your product, and listen to what they think. Watch them try to use it and understand their pain.
Right.
And what I found, like, I'm amazed, and it's the same conversation you have nearly every time. Corporate companies invite you in to talk about a job, and you sit down and you go, okay, first thing we're going to need to do is some research with your customers and understand how they feel.
I know.
Oh,
We already done it. We always know. We know what they want.
we know what they want. We don't want to go
Yeah.
asking. Our customers are they're too busy, and really what they're saying is that we don't want to ask questions that we might get unflattering answers to. A lot of the time, corporate people, well, there's a couple of things. One is that they think our customers expect us to know the answers to these questions.
Right.
How can we charge, $20,000 a license for this piece of software, if we're asking them what it should do?
Right.
They think we should know this. They think we should be the ones telling them.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not the way the world works, right?
Sure. Not anymore. It worked this way maybe 15, 20 years ago. And now, it's not working anymore this way.
No, absolutely not. And so, we spend, usually there's a portion of every kind of client engagement where we have to kind of talk the corporate team around to the fact that it's a good idea to go and do research, and to, even if you think you've done research, we're going to do it again, because the questions we'll ask will be different. We're going to make it okay for your customers to tell us your product is dreadful, and to point out all the problems. And we're not going to penalize them for doing that. We're going to reward them, and companies are nervous. What are you going to do? But we say, no, trust us. When we do this exercise, your customers will come back and tell you you're the only company that's ever come and asked us what we think. I'm the guy who sits down and uses this product for 8 hours a day. No other vendor has ever come to ask me what I'd like to be doing here or what I'd like it to do. So it will reflect well on you, even if they don't like what you currently have. There's positive, it will become a positive experience, because and it's not because we try to make it that way. It's just, that's what I've witnessed over the years, that when you go to people and you listen to them, they really appreciate getting it off their chest. And sometimes what they have to say is not flattering, but it's the first step towards understanding what you really need to be doing,
Right.
And once you've got, like, the customers, needs directly from them, the rest, it's like half the job done. The rest is easy. It's just execution.
Right. And it's really important now, because everything has changed and the market has changed, the client has changed, what they need has changed. So you need to go back to them, and maybe it worked like half a year ago. They were very happy with and satisfied with what you delivered, and right now they need something else, and you really need to know it.
It's all changed, and this is one of the challenging things for businesses around the globe right now, is that in the last 6 months, everything has been upended. And, in the past, for example, where people went and bought 2 coffees every day, on the way to work and on the way home, they're not doing that anymore. So you've got all these coffee vendors wondering, like, where's the future of my business?
Right.
And so they need to innovate. We've got a coffee space, we've got we have a store that does something. We need to find a way of getting people back in here, or at least, sending coffee out of the store, or we won't exist anymore. And that problem is being experienced right across the board,
it's in tourism, it's in education, it's in culture and art, and like in entertainment, so many domains, that in aviation, of course. So there are so many domains that need to really capture their essence again, and what are the value that they give, what the value they give their clients, and what they want to be.
And there are 2 reactions to this right now. I see it out there. One is, let's just stop everything and wait until this is gone. Freeze, and hopefully it'll all sort itself out. And the other approach is to imagine that this reality is going to continue for quite some time. And if we don't change now, we won't be around, in a
Right.
year's time to make those changes,
Yeah.
And if my advice would be the latter, be the second type of person, assume that this is going to go on for quite a while and make the
Yeah.
changes now, because I think it may happen that this is going to be with us for quite some time.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that most companies are doing the first thing. They're freezing and they're holding innovation, and they're going back to their core services and products, and trying to be as safe as possible. And I talked about this subject with most of my guests here in the show, and I wrote a book about it. Even like it's going to go out in 2 weeks, and it's called Innovating Through Chaos, and it's about that exactly. So
I need that book.
So you'll get it in 2
Okay.
weeks. So
Great.
tell us about interesting use cases that you help clients innovate.
So we're a design company.